Hello and welcome. I'm Sulaiman Aled. Tonight, House of Representatives Committee to investigate alleged killing of 53 people by men of the Nigerian Army in Plateau State. Chief of Air Staff seeks provision of more advanced equipment for faster prosecution of the ongoing fight against insurgency. Workers in Plateau State down tools, cite non-payment of salaries and other entitlements for 5 months. And voting officially ends in United Kingdom's keenly contested general elections. Final results expected tomorrow.
And on business news tonight, oil giant Shell declares force majeure on Nigeria's exports of Focado's crude oil stream.
And on sports news, Nigeria's Super Eagles remain unmoved in the latest ranking of football playing nations by FIFA.
We begin tonight with the resolve of the House of Representatives to unravel the circumstances surrounding the death of 53 people in Wase, Plateau State, alleged to have been killed by men of the Nigerian Army. The lawmakers today mandated a joint committee of the House to investigate the matter. During a plenary that was marked by intermittent power outage, the House also urged the National Emergency Management Agency to provide necessary relief materials for the people affected. The House also believes it is necessary for the agency to conduct damage assessment in the affected areas. Our correspondent Laura Lasisi has this report.
Thank you, Mr. President.
It's an issue that has been considered by the Senate, an attack on some communities in Wase local government area of Plateau State. It's also an issue that has caught the attention of lawmakers in the House of Representatives.
The alleged soldiers in over 40 trucks arrived at Kurmi and Wadata of Wase local government area on the said day and allegedly opened fire on innocent people, burning houses in retaliation of 6 soldiers killed by some unknown persons at Ongon Nani in Kariland government area of Tarab State. Disturbed that if such incident, if confirmed to be true, is left uninvestigated and addressed, it could create a vicious cycle which can escalate and bring untold destruction to a region that is already very volatile.
The motion passed after a short debate. The House has mandated the Committees on Defense, Army and Human Rights to investigate the incident and report back to the House. The National Emergency Management Agency has also been urged to mobilize its personnel to the affected areas to conduct damage assessment and provide necessary relief materials. The House then went on to consider other items on the order paper. The proceedings were interrupted by a power outage. After waiting for some minutes, some lawmakers made their way out of the chamber. Others stood around in groups while many others waited in their seats. Almost 20 minutes later, power was restored and proceedings continued. Laura Lasisi, Channels Television News.
Well, if the Nigerian Air Force is to sustain its current counter-terrorism efforts, the federal government must make provisions for additional equipment for the force. This is coming from the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Olushola Amosu, who told journalists in Abuja that persistent strikes by the Air Force has so far yielded good results, but that access to more advanced technological equipment could produce better results. The Chief of Air Staff was speaking at an event to mark the 51st anniversary of the Nigerian Air Force, where he vowed the readiness and capability of the force in tackling the challenges in the Northeast. As the current administration winds down, one thing seems of utmost importance to it: that the incoming government continues with the noble projects started by the administration of President Goodluck Jonathan. The President gave the hint after inspecting some key projects executed by his administration in the Federal Capital Territory. Pleased with the level of work done on the projects, President Jonathan said he now has first-hand information on what to pass on to the incoming President about the projects. State House correspondent Chukwuma Onokusi reports.
The
10-lane airport road, now Umaru Musa Yar'Adua Expressway, named after his predecessor who performed the groundbreaking 6 years ago, was Dr. Jonathan's first port of call. The federal government had described the road as another bold step in the country's march towards Vision 2020, for which quality infrastructure will be one of the critical elements. The 10-lane expressway, awarded at the cost of over $1.7 billion, has saved residents of the FCT and visitors the embarrassment created by the chaotic traffic situation on the airport road. President Goodluck Jonathan's inspection train took off to Idu to inspect the Abuja Rail Mass Transit Revolution. The project commenced in 2009. When completed, it will serve as a mover of people within and between the satellite towns and the different phases of the city with a rail network. It is a standard gauge rail line, about 61% complete. Now, the project is gone 61%, and the coaches are not here, but the contractors had to provide these coaches with which the president inspected the project himself. The president might be on his way out after the inspection, but this project must not be left to die by the incoming administration.
Of course, this government, we're living on the 29th, but the incoming government will definitely continue because it's a noble project to benefit the Nigerians, especially residents of the FCT. I've been wanting to come and inspect this project for a very long time, but so challenged in terms of my commitments. I think this period, I really need to. So when I'm having a conversation with the incoming president, I know exactly what to tell him.
The Outer Northern Expressway, known as Kubwa Expressway, was the president's last port of call. The project is said to also be at 98% completion stage and can compete with any good road anywhere in the world. Those who have followed the Abuja master plan say that if properly followed, Abuja will serve as a place of pride for all Nigerians.
This is our flagship project. Again, most importantly, to show the face of leadership of Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, where he does things by persuasion and by supervision.
When you have a project that is 98% completed, you should be proud of that. So that we have gone this far, I think we deserve to be appreciated, and we should be proud to say that we have done excellently well. It is a wonderful legacy that the present administration is leaving behind, putting infrastructural development first and ensuring that there's development in the FCT.
Political watchers will say that government is a continuum. Nigerians are waiting to see what the incoming administration will do to some of these projects and the advice of the outgoing president. Chukwuma Onekusi, Channels Television News.
The Supreme Court has stopped the National Assembly from taking further steps towards amending the 1999 Constitution. A 7-man panel of justices of the Apex Court, led by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Mahmood Mohammed, ordered the federal lawmakers to maintain status quo on the matter until June the 18th. The Apex Court also directed the issuance of hearing notice on the National Assembly for it to appear on that date to respond to the suit lodged against it. President Goodluck Jonathan had sued the National Assembly over the proposed alterations to the Constitution, accusing them of attempting to whittle down the powers of the president. The federal government had late last month asked the Supreme Court for an order of interlocutory injunction, restraining the lawmakers from taking any further step on the issue. Well, now, the political tension in Rivers State seems to be heightening. The All Progressives Congress, APC, is again protesting against what it describes as a deliberate attempt by INEC and the People's Democratic Party to frustrate its efforts at obtaining relevant documents to pursue its petition at the tribunal. The PDP is, however, refuting this accusation, insisting that it has been denied access to materials to defend its case at the tribunal. Attempts to get the resident electoral commissioner of INEC to comment on the issue has not been successful.
In most states of the Federation, voters and elected politicians are looking forward to the swearing-in ceremony, which comes up in about 3 weeks. In Rivers State, the expectation is the same, but it appears there are hurdles to be scaled before then. For the The second time in 2 weeks, the All Progressive Congress APC is accusing the People's Democratic Party PDP of using INEC to stall its plans of taking their grievances to the Election Tribunal.
The register of voters used for that election up till now cannot be produced by INEC in Rivers State. PDP, led by one Samuel Wanosike, carried 7 Ghana must go bags to Rivers State INEC office, and that bag contains registers, incident forms, and PVCs. And the rake shamefully received those documents from a PDP member into her store.
The PDP sees things differently. They believe they're the ones who have been dealt a bad blow.
There was no such thing. What has been happening in INEC is that we party agents, I, as an agent of PDP, agent to the governor-elect, and the agents of APC, and even APC even went ahead aligning even candidates who contested in their platform and lost. One former INEC commissioner, Chidi Uyoka, came to INEC himself to intimidate the INEC staffs because he was a former rec of INEC, and they've been giving them all advantages, and we've not bothered to go to the press to shout. If there's any group of persons that's supposed to complain, it is we, the PDP.
While the blame game continues, INEC's verdict stands. Only a contrary ruling by the tribunal can change things.
In part 2 after the break, we revisit the recent clash between Fulani herdsmen and the Owago community in Kwara State. That's an our big story tonight. Stay with us.